Hello, my name is Jamila James, and this is my presentation on Google Classroom. How do you create your Google Classroom? Well, first, you need a Google account using Gmail. Then you can go to classroom.google.com/h and press the plus sign icon at the top right hand corner and click on the option that says create class. Now for your students will have to click on join class while they use the code provided to them by you. Once you have your classroom outline, you will then enter a couple details. Now, the best thing about Google Classroom is you're able to have as many different classrooms as you would like. So to help yourself and your students, detail specifically which each class is. Here in my example, I have fourth grade 2018 to 2019. And I highlighted that this was from my class. My room, of course, was Zoom. And my subjects that I taught as a fourth grade teacher, math, science, and social studies. I specified these classes because I was also a co-teacher for a English class. So to help all of our students, we created our classrooms according to our subjects. Once your classroom is created, you and your students will see a hub, such as the one on your screen, where it will have the teacher's name and their grade. Here's the classroom that was created last year while I was a fourth grade teacher. Here are a couple of the classrooms that we have now. A couple things that I would like to point out here at the top are the to review button, which we'll get to further on in this presentation, and the calendar. Some things that students will see on the hub will be their to-do list, a list of assignments that were created for them to do this week. These pop up while the teacher or after the teacher creates an assignment. They also give the students a due date and a time if applicable. This icon here with the squiggle line is for the teachers to see their grades, and this envelope is for teachers to create another assignment. Speaking of assignments, once you get into your classroom, you will be given classwork tabs. You will have classwork tabs. The tabs come with a plethora of options teachers can use to create assignments or quizzes or just give materials to their students. The Kami assignment is a PDF program that I personally downloaded to my Google Classroom so that my students will be able to edit PDFs and worksheets while still be giving correct answers. How to create an assignment. To create a Google assignment, I will be using Speech Texter for my captions. To create an assignment, you will first click on the Create tab. I will be creating an assignment rather than one of these other options. First, you would like to title your assignment. Since this is a test assignment, I will title it as such. Instructions are optional, but highly recommended by myself. So for my instructions, I will just say test and then ignore. At this time, I would like to point out that this is no longer a real class. However, it is live for this moment. This will be for my fourth grade class of last year. I will have it for all students, but feel free to choose students you want to see specific assignments. The grade category, we will get to that in the presentation a little longer, but since this is a test, I will say that this is a math quiz. Points, you can keep it at 100 points. My scale is automatically 100 points. The due date, if you want to add one, you can. And the topic, again, is math for this example. Once you create, you can come over on this side and add something from your computer or a link to a website or even a YouTube video. It's also connected to your Google Drive, so if you have anything already prepared, you can attach it to this assignment, or you can create something completely new. Once you press the create button, you can attach a document, a slide presentation. Google Sheets allow the students to draw something, or even forms. Google Forms are used mainly for quizzes or tests because they grade automatically, whereas none of the other options grade student assignments automatically. Once your assignment is created, you will come to your classwork section of your Google Classroom. Here, under each topics, for example, the math topic, you will see not only the topics by title, but also the type of topic that it's under or it's classified as. Notice these little word bubbles. This is how students are able to respond to you and each other. This definitely is an option that can be taken off, but I allowed it because this was the quickest way for students to ask each other questions about how to access each activity. They were able to answer each other. Also, notice at the top the stream, which is where students can get a quick glance of what we're going through as a class, a list of people to show all of the students that are in your class, and of course, grades. Speaking of grading calculation, a teacher can customize, the grading scale to match the school's scale. Option to calculate grade overall and whether or not to show students. This is the section that I highlighted up here. You can use an overall grade calculation, which means students would be calculated collectively for math, science, and social studies together, rather than a separate math grade, a separate science grade, and a separate social studies grade. This is not suggested for teachers with multiple subjects, such as myself, but I did want to tell you that it is an option, and whether or not to show these grades to your students. Now, if you do show your students the grades, they will be able to see what their Google Classroom grade will be rather than what their official grade might be. But it is an option. Another easy way to grade on Google Classroom is in the grading book. Once you press that grade tab that is at the top, the fourth tab on the top, you will have your list of students, their overall grades with all your subjects and assignments calculated. And here on this hub, you will be able to give the students each grade. Notice here how it says draft. Each grade will be considered a draft until the teacher sends their grade to the students, which we will go deeper into a little later in this presentation. I also wanted to point out that each topic that teachers create can be graded automatically. To review, the To Review tab can be located with the 3 horizontal lines. From this page, you will be able to see all of the work you've assigned. Notice the progress categories. Turn in means students submitted their assignment. Assigned means students were assigned the work but have yet to submit the finished product. And graded means the teacher reviewed, graded, and returned the work to the students. There is a physical button showing that it is okay for students or parents to see their students' progress, to see the grade given. If that button is not pushed, these grades will still be considered draft. How might we incorporate this into our classrooms? Innovating thinking, finding, integration. My 2 how might questions are, how might we use Google Classroom to promote the use of real world experiences? And how might we encourage our students to remain organized with their schoolwork and activities? My innovating thinking, finding solutions. How might we use Google Classroom as a way to connect students, parents, and teachers together? And how might we use Google Classroom as a method of teaching our students real-world application? Accessibility. The use of live closed captions makes learning accessible and promotes diverse learning opportunities by providing written word. Viewers who are hard of hearing or learning English will be able to follow along with the presentation and the added captions. My ISTE standards that I chose for this assignment were Empowered Learner. This standard aligns with this assignment by allowing us to prove our level of understanding through demonstration and reteach. In order for us to be able to do this assignment, we would have had to do extensive research about our Google tool and how to effectively use them. The other standard I chose was Creative Communicator. This standard aligns with the assignment by having us create a presentation using a new platform, Google Tools, while teaching and demonstrating to others how to use this platform. Thank you again for listening to this presentation.